Today's update brings one of the most important pieces of news many seniors and disability beneficiaries have been waiting for. The Social Security Administration has officially confirmed a new round of correction checks, with an average amount of $875 being issued to qualified SSI and SSDI recipients. This announcement has created both relief and confusion across the country, especially among those who are wondering whether they qualify when their deposit will arrive, and how the correction process actually works. So in this video, we will break down all the details in a clear, friendly, and reassuring way, so every senior, every disabled American, and every caregiver can fully understand what this update means and what actions may be necessary. Before we dive deeper, I want to speak directly to you with a calm and honest tone. If you depend on SSI, SSDI, or Social Security benefits to survive month to month, and you've been dealing with rising prices, higher bills, or unexpected expenses, please know this information is meant to give you clarity and peace of mind. Financial stress is heavy, especially for older adults or those living with disabilities. So, the purpose of this update is to explain everything without confusion, without anxiety, and without complicated financial language. Think of this as a trusted conversation where everything is broken down step by step, like a friend guiding you through the process. The Social Security Administration announced that these $875 correction checks are being issued because of miscalculations in benefit payments that occurred earlier in the year. These miscalculations mostly affected people receiving supplemental security income and Social Security disability insurance, although a smaller number of retirees receiving standard Social Security benefits may also see adjustments. The corrections involve underpayments, meaning some people were paid less than they should have been, and now the government is fixing those errors and sending out the difference. These corrections are not loans, they are not advance payments, and they do not have to be repaid. They are simply money that beneficiaries were entitled to but never received at the time. The amount of each correction check varies by individual, depending on how much the original underpayment was. However, based on official calculations, the average correction amount being issued right now is around $875, although some people may receive less, while others may receive significantly more. The important thing is understanding why this is happening now. Over the past year, the Social Security Administration reviewed payment records, cost of living adjustments, and income reporting systems. In that review, they discovered that some beneficiaries had not received their full payments due to reporting delays, calculation mistakes, or system updates. This led to errors in monthly deposits, and now the administration is correcting those errors to make sure everyone gets the full amount owed to them. Now, many recipients want to know whether they personally qualify for this correction. The answer depends on a few factors, but the simplest explanation is this. If the Social Security Administration finds that they owe you money due to an underpayment, you will automatically receive the correction. You do not need to file an application. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to call or request anything. The correction system is automatic. If they owe you money, you will receive it directly through the same deposit method you currently use. If you normally receive direct deposit to your bank account, the correction will appear there. If you use a Direct Express card, the deposit will arrive on that card. If you receive a paper check, it will come by mail. Many seniors also ask when these correction checks will be delivered. According to the latest information, deposits are being issued in waves. The first wave is already going out, with thousands of beneficiaries reporting incoming payments. Additional waves will continue throughout the upcoming weeks. Because these corrections are individualized, not everyone will receive the deposit on the same day. Some deposits may arrive quickly, while others may take a little longer, depending on how complicated the case review was. A correction check may appear on any day, not just your regular scheduled payment day, because these payments are processed outside the normal monthly cycle. If you are checking your bank account or Direct Express card and you don't see the deposit yet, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're not receiving anything. It simply means that your correction may be scheduled for a later wave. The important advice here is to check your deposit method regularly, but don't rely only on one-day corrections can arrive unexpectedly, even overnight or early morning. The Social Security Administration is sending out an extremely large number of adjustments, which is why the process is being done gradually rather than all at once. Another common question people ask is whether receiving a correction check will affect their future benefits? The answer is no. These payments are not advances and are not meant to replace any upcoming monthly benefit. They do not change your eligibility, your monthly amount, or your cost of living adjustment. They are simply back payments that restore what you should have received earlier. Your next benefit payment will still arrive on its regular schedule, just like it always does. There is no penalty and there are no reductions in future checks because of this correction. There is also concern about scams, especially because many seniors are targeted by fake calls pretending to be from Social Security. It is important to stay safe. The Social Security Administration will not call you to ask for your bank information to process a correction check. They will not email you asking for personal details. Corrections are automatic. If anyone contacts you asking for information in order to release your $875 deposit, it is a scam. Protect yourself by ignoring those calls or messages and never sharing personal financial information. Many people also want to know why these mistakes happen in the first place. Although errors in payments are rare, they do occur because the benefit system is extremely complex. Millions of people receive different types of benefits, and those benefits are influenced by income, living situation, disability documentation, cost of living increases, and federal updates. Even a small data entry issue or a delayed update can cause an underpayment. That is why the Social Security Administration conducts periodic reviews to make sure everyone receives the correct amount. These correction checks are a direct result of that effort. For SSI recipients, underpayments often occur when income reports are updated late, or when changes in living arrangements are entered incorrectly. For SSDI recipients, corrections may be related to earnings reports, disability onset dates, or adjustments based on cost of living benefits. And for retirees receiving Social Security, some corrections are linked to work credits or delayed retirement benefit calculations. No matter the cause, the important thing is that the administration is taking responsibility and fixing the errors. Now that we've covered why these underpayments happened and how the Social Security Administration is correcting them, let's talk about what seniors, disabled Americans, and family caregivers should do next. The first and most important step is simply awareness. These correction deposits are real, they are confirmed, and they are already being released to thousands of beneficiaries. That means your job is not to apply or make special requests, but simply to stay informed and pay attention to the updates appearing in your account. This is especially important for seniors who depend on every dollar to cover medications, groceries, rent, utilities, or unplanned expenses that can suddenly appear in daily life. If you normally receive your benefits through direct deposit, take a moment every few days to check your account balance and transaction history. Many banks list pending deposits before they fully arrive, which may give you early notice that something is coming. If you use a Direct Express card, log into your card account or check your balance through the automated phone system. For those who still receive paper checks by mail, continue watching your mailbox, especially if you live in an area where delays sometimes happen. Remember, these correction checks can arrive at any time of the month, and not necessarily on your usual Social Security payment date. Some people may wonder how they will know if they are supposed to receive this correction. In many cases, the Social Security Administration also sends a written letter explaining the change. These letters usually arrive after the correction has already been sent, which means you might receive the deposit first and the explanation later. The letter will usually describe the reason for the correction, the time period involved, and the amount that was owed. But again, the letter is informational, not something you need to respond to. If the administration owes you money, they pay it automatically without needing any action on your part. Let's also address a topic that many seniors care deeply about: whether these correction payments will affect other government programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, SSI eligibility, or other income-based benefits. In most cases, a one-time correction deposit does not count as monthly income and should not affect long-term eligibility for essential programs. These payments are classified as back payments, not new income. That means most agencies do not treat them as ongoing resources. However, if you are concerned about how this deposit might affect your personal situation, especially if you receive multiple forms of assistance, it may help to keep a record of the correction letter when it arrives. This documentation confirms that the payment was a one-time adjustment and not a recurring increase. Another important point to understand is that many seniors are receiving these correction payments because of cost of living adjustments that did not get applied correctly at the beginning of the year. When the cost of living increase takes effect every January, the Social Security Administration updates all benefit amounts. But if an account is under review, if documentation is delayed, or if a beneficiary's income information hasn't fully updated in the system, the increase may not take effect immediately. This can cause several months of underpayment. When the issue is finally corrected, the beneficiary receives the difference in the form of a lump sum deposit. That is exactly what is happening now for thousands of SSI and SSDI recipients. Some people receiving SSD. I may also see corrections related to work activity reviews. Sometimes, when a beneficiary's earnings are reported late or incorrectly, the system may freeze or delay part of their payment. Once that is fixed, the system recalculates the missed amounts and sends them back. Correction checks are also common when disability onset dates are updated, or when someone is approved for additional disability categories. All of these factors contribute to the current wave of payments. For seniors receiving traditional Social Security retirement benefits, corrections may be related to delayed retirement credits or updated work histories. For example, if someone worked an additional year and earned more than they did in previous years, this could increase their benefit. If that increase is not applied immediately, the missing amount becomes part of the correction. Many retirees underestimate how important updated work history can be, and many of these correction payments are tied to this exact issue. Now, let's shift to something equally important: preventing misunderstandings and staying safe. Because news of these correction checks is spreading quickly, scammers often take advantage of seniors who are unsure about the process. We need to be clear. The Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue about your $875 correction check. They will never ask you to verify your Social Security number to release the deposit. They will never ask for bank account information or payment in return. If anyone contacts you claiming to be from Social Security and asks for personal or financial information, it is a scam. Hang up immediately and protect your identity. If you ever feel uncertain about a phone call or message, remember one important rule. Social Security does not call to give correction checks. They send them automatically. All real information will appear directly in your account or in an official letter. No one has the authority to speed up your payment, and no one can hold your deposit unless you give them personal information. Protect yourself by keeping this in mind at all times. It's also worth talking about how seniors can use these correction payments wisely. Because these deposits are unexpected for many people, it might help to plan ahead. If you have outstanding bills, medical expenses, or overdue payments, this correction can bring important relief. Some seniors may choose to buy essential home items, medications, or groceries. Others may prefer to save it in case of emergencies. These choices are personal, but whatever you decide, make sure the money supports your stability, comfort, and peace of mind. Many viewers also ask whether future correction checks will be issued again. The truth is that corrections happen from time to time, depending on system updates and benefit reviews. This current wave of corrections is larger than usual, which is why it has drawn so much attention. If the administration finds additional errors in the future, they may issue more corrections, but those would be announced separately. For now, the focus is on making sure every person who was underpaid receives the full amount owed to them. Before we close, let's talk about why these updates matter so deeply. For millions of Americans, Social Security, SSI, and SSDI are not optional benefits, they are lifelines. They provide stability, dignity, and security in a world where prices continue rising and financial challenges are becoming more difficult. That is why these correction checks are so important. They restore fairness, correct mistakes, and ensure that seniors and disabled Americans receive every dollar they deserve. As we reach the end of this update, I want you to take away a few key messages. First, the Social Security Administration has officially confirmed that thousands of SSI and SSDI recipients are receiving correction checks of around $875 on average second. You do not need to apply or request anything. The corrections are automatic. Third, deposits are being sent in waves, so continue checking your account or card over the coming days. And finally, Please stay alert for scams, stay informed, and remember that no one has the right to ask for your personal information to release your payment. Thank you for taking the time to understand this important update. Staying informed helps protect your benefits and ensures you receive the support you are entitled to. If today's information helped you, make sure you stay connected for future updates so you never miss important news about Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and senior benefits. Your financial well-being matters, and having the right information at the right time can make all the difference.